Okay, at this stage now you should be able to know how to put the part into the sheet, the naming of the part, the elevation plan and view, the little bit of text, putting in the line for the XY line, and that sort of thing. So a couple of things I want to show here now is what some of these things might be in relation to what you're drawing, and I'll also show how to put in dimensions. I might just start with the dimensions. So let's just say we want to show the main dimensions. So when we're picking the dimensions, there's a dimension tool up here. So sometimes you'll have to zoom in to get the exact line. So I'll get the top of the object down to the bottom of the object, and I'm going to take it out here. Now this is important. You want to have the spacings for these here all looking reasonably good, and you see the way it's 123.25. Now sometimes the points are fine, but in this case I'm just going to exit that, and I'm going to double click on that there, and I don't really like that there, the 0.25. So what I want to do is, you see I have options here. I'm just going to go to the 0 decimal places, and that changes it out. That escape there, and that changes it out to just a full number. And you want that number in the middle. You don't want the number way down here. You want it in the middle. Now I'll only do a couple of dimensions here just so that you get an idea for it. You need to put in the important ones, and say you don't want these leaders or lines in the way of anything else as well too. You want to have enough of space in these. I don't really have a pile of room at the top, so let's just see. I could have to adjust that there. I'll take a radius dimension, say down at the bottom here. I'll go say pick on the radius of the outer circle, and that's 37.5, and I'm happy enough with that. And if I'm putting in a couple of radii, say I pick this one on the inside, that's not picking it up for me. See, it might not be just an exact circle, it could be an ellipse because we're looking down on it. So I'll pick this as the tea light holder part. I'll pick that. Now one of them's a radius, one of them's a diameter, and then let's see now if I can get this one here. It's not going to click into it because it's on the outside. Yeah, radius 37.5. Now I could cluster it if I have too many of these here, and there's a dimension coming in there. I'm not going to do that. I'll head up here maybe, and say maybe I want to have showing the height of this object here. See, get me dimension tool, pick that top line and pick it to the bottom line, and now again just this will be a good enough example of this. I'll show that and I'll escape it. I'll click this and I'll change that there to 0 decimal places, so that's 101, and escape. Now you can see, without putting too many dimensions in here, I'll just show you the distance now that this is from the object should be relatively close to being the same. So if I wanted that, I want the two of them to look pretty even. So just on sight, they look pretty good there. I could have done with taking this down. I have a finished drawing which I'll show you, because it does take a wee bit of cajoling and moving things around here. I'll just put in another couple of dimensions just so that you get an idea of what's happening here. So there you can see I have 14.5. Now that looks okay out that side, probably would look better the other side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the height for that. See, I need to get in a bit closer. Actually what I'll do is I'll do it in the end view because it's not interfering with anything at all. So and it actually shows another wee thingy as well too. So if I pick these two, take it out, you see it sitting right in the middle, and there's a little purple line. It mightn't be that visible in the camera, but when you're lining these up, you can see there now it's actually taken that size. Again, I escaped, I double clicked that, put it to the precision as no decimal places, so that's 12, so that looks much better. Then I'm going to pick a dimension again. I'll go right to the top, down to this, and that there's a lot more sensible. It's 10, and the wee purple line aligns the whole thing up. So now what I have is I have a nice run of dimensions here on this end view, which would only be cluttering that other side, and it's coming up pretty good there. Then for angles, say in this one, on the elevation, I'm just going to pick an angle, and lovely, it's 30 degrees. Now, I'll escape that, I'll double click it, and you can see there as well too, I'll go to the precision, down to 0 decimal places, and that's coming in, looks better when it's just written in at the 30 degrees. So I think that maybe is maybe enough on the dimensions there for you to be able to pick up on those. And there is smaller details that we could put in here, but I'll show them in a different view. But that's an important feature, is to have the spacing of your dimensions and your leaders and all that there a nice distance away, or an even distance away, and they were all consistency throughout. One other thing maybe before I finish this here is that those arrows, when we go to print them little arrows there might look a little bit on the small side. So I'm just going to show you how you might change them there as well too. So over on the right hand side, it shows there's a little spanner. It's drawn properties. I'll click that, and then I'll go up to where it shows the dimension tool, and in here it says the arrowheads are 2.5, right? I'm going to change that to 4 just to see what happens. So you can see the arrowhead has changed now to 4 instead. If I go 5, it's just a wee bit too big. So maybe even 3.5 might be enough in this instance, because of the numbers. You don't want them to take away. See, when you get to a smaller number, the arrow gets bunched on the number itself. So there is other things you can do. You can put in, say, the gaps and the extensions. You can change the heights the numbers are off those as well too. I'm not going to bother doing that there. But once you know that you can go in here and you can change that. Annotations, you can see the standard 3.5. Arrowhead standard, let's see, that may change in some of those. So there is a load of things that you can change in there. Probably the height of the number above the line, I'd have to search for it here now on it, so I'm not underline over written dimensions yet. So I'm not going to bother doing that there. I'm just going to go back out to my drawn, and I'd be happier. You can even see just on the sheet that the arrow is that little bit more visible when I've changed it to that. So that's your dimensions, inserting your dimensions, keeping a consistency throughout, and then how to alter the dimensions as well.